to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about self-care for the stressed out professional. Every job has its fair share of stress. There's no singular job that is 100% fun or 100% stressful. But some jobs have more stress than the others. And one of them, I feel like I'm qualified to speak on this because I'm a community pharmacist practicing in Nigeria. And if you have no idea about the community pharmacist schedule, let me give you an idea. So you start your work on Mondays. This is not, please let me just say that this is not how every community pharmacy works, but for the most part, this is how most work. So you start your job on Monday by 8 a.m., you close by 4 p.m. The next day, 8 a.m., you close by 4 p.m. You work Mondays till Sundays. And on Saturdays, because you're alternating with your colleague that comes in by 12, on Saturdays, in order to give one of you a break, one person has to work the full shift from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. or 8 a.m. to 9 p.m., as the case may be. So one person has to work the full weekend, Saturday, Sunday. So if I'm the one working the Saturday and Sunday, the next Saturday and Sunday I'll be free. So I get rest every 2 weeks. After every 2 weeks of work, I get 2 days off. So that is really, really stressful. I have lots of colleagues that do not work these hours. I have lots of colleagues that work alternate days, and that is far better. I think it's well adjusted. There's proper work-life balance. But if you're like me, that has 2 days off every 2 weeks, then you know what stress is. So if you are in this shoe, what can you do to be well adjusted? What can you do to cope better with your job short of quitting? Because I know quitting is like something that's quite popular right now on YouTube. I quit my job to follow my dreams, my YouTube dreams, or my creative dreams, and that is not wrong. I'm not trying to shoot that down, but not everybody can quit. Not everybody can just quit their jobs and just like go for chasing after their dreams. And because I feel like you should have like a backup plan in case your dreams do not work out. So that's what I'm just saying. That being said, what can you do to better cope? How can you take care of yourself? And before I go on, I just want to talk about self-care. I read somewhere that self-care is not just about bubble baths and chocolates and like scented candles and all that. Those are fine, but that's not all self-care is about. Self-care is about creating a life that you do not have to escape from. Because if you're under this constant stress, you might find yourself having like maladaptive fantasies of escape, vacationing, like leaving leaving everything behind and just going on some vacation or like trip or something like that. But what if you can't? What if you do not have enough money to quit? What if you do not have enough emergency funds to just quit your job? What do you do? The first and foremost thing is very ridiculously well known, is get sleep. Get to sleep on time. You know, I've had several instances where my colleagues, like, they call me and they're like, wow, you're asleep by this time. And for someone that is an introvert, someone who interacting with people drains me, and in the community pharmacy you must interact. You must interact with your patients, you must interact with your clients. So it is very important that I go to bed early. There's this thing called revenge bedtime procrastination, where workers or people tend to postpone their bedtime, their sleep time, because they believe that because there's this subconscious, like, it's a form of rebellion. It's a psychological subconscious form of rebellion, because you feel like most of your daytime you're not spending it on yourself. Most of your daytime, the hours are out of your control. So by postponing your bedtime, you get more hours to do what you like. It's like a form of rebellion, but it eventually hurts you because you don't get enough sleep. You wake up and maybe your alarm doesn't ring on time. You wake up late. Because of that, you do not have time to grab a healthy breakfast, or do not have time to grab breakfast at all. So you are rushing to work. You're probably late. You're in a very irritable mood, and then there's the client waiting for you that is also in an irritable mood. Totally not talking about myself, by the way. That is where the sleep comes in. If you go to bed early, the the probability of you waking up earlier is higher. So because you wake up early, you still have a few hours to still for yourself, to do things that are, to get ready on time, and to be a bit slow paced. If you're in this kind of job, so you work every day or like that, it's very hard to be slow paced. So if you go to bed early, you can still get a few hours in the morning where you can get to be slow paced. You can take your bath and like not in the rush. You can just like take time, maybe do some yoga in the morning or some exercise early in the morning before going, because you slept early and you woke up early, before going about your day. So that's one thing that we can do to make to ease the stress. The second thing is to utilize your spare time very effectively. So I have this tendency when I have my free days, it's I have this tendency to just want to like catch up on all the series I've missed, just binge watch movies and just like lay about in bed and do nothing. While that is good, and you know, I believe that in order to effectively use your free time, it's important to do some hard things. The second point is just simply this: procrastinate the fun things, because it's easy to just go to the fun things, like just, and then by the time time is gone, but there's laundry to be done, because throughout the week you've been working and there's not enough time to do laundry, there's not enough time to clean the house, there's not enough time to make food for the next week. So if you procrastinate all the fun things and do all the hard things during your free time, you're able to eventually get time to do the fun things. Like for me today, today is Saturday and I'm free today. For me, I was able to do all the tough things. Maybe not all, but most of the tough things. I was able to do my laundry. I was able to clean and just do the most important things, so that, and now I have free time. I still have time in the day. It's a bit dark now, but I still have time in the day to do other things that I care about that are not as important. Because when you've done your laundry, when you've done all the important things, when you've prepared yourself for the next working week, then you have time to freelance and do whatever you like. So that is my second point: ensure that you effectively use your free time. So, okay, doing all the stuff that you need to do, preparing taking care of your laundry and getting your clothes organized for the next week, it's gonna reduce your stress for the next week significantly. The next thing I want to talk about is your diet. You need to try as much as possible to make sure you're having a healthy meal. It doesn't always work. There are weeks when there are weeks when I'm really busy and I'm not able to cook. I'm not able to do anything like make any meal. But I try to eat. um I buy food on those weeks when you know another thing I just want to say right now, I'm sorry for just jumping around the place, is try not to beat yourself up when you do not meet 100% of your self-care goals. Now that that is out there, I just want to say that the weeks where I have the time, to cook, to to cook enough for the next week, just make a like really huge pot of stew that you can use to eat rice, okra soup, just I like cooking things that are really versatile, like stew. Stew goes with everything. You can use it to fry your eggs, to eat with your bread. You can use it for rice. You can use it for okra soup. You know, it's really nice. So even if it's just a pot of stew, the weeks that I'm able to cook, it's oh my god, the difference is just so out there. It's so palpable. For lack of better word, I noticed I use that a lot. So anyway, that being said, okay, let's talk about another kind of self-care. If you're not able to exercise, if you're not able to do all the like rigorous exercise, which is normal, like you cannot have worked all that long time and then come and do high intensity workout. If you can, then I'm so proud of you. But if you can't, just simple walking, for like 10-15 minutes on your free days, or even around the house. There's this workouts you can do at home, as Leslie Sanson, like home workouts, like walking on the spot. It can make all the difference. But if you cannot, again, that is fine. But nobody has ever come out of a workout with a bad mood, except you broke your bones. But nobody has ever come out at the end of the workout with a worse mood than they went into it. Especially if you're pacing yourself, you come out feeling better. So if you can work out, fine. But try as much as possible to prioritize, the things that would eventually help you feel better, for the next week, you know. So the next thing I want to talk about is the social self-care. Even for introverts, I noticed that, I always tell people like that introverts are like a battery. They're like a battery that you charge. That a battery that is charged only by being alone. I find that I'm more energetic when I've had time by myself. But when that battery gets too full and it's not used, then it can be problematic. Then you see yourself entering into depressive moods and all that. So it's important to maintain a social self-care system where you chat with your friends, you call people, visit if you're feeling up to it. I do not always visit people, but having human interaction is very necessary. And I'll talk about other ways that you can do that without having to like just go out there. Anyway, so make sure that you're having social self-care, because even for introverts, even for people that are withdrawn, they can still benefit from having like social interaction with other people. So make sure you're surrounding yourself with people that have a positive influence on you. And at this point, I also want to talk about the spiritual self-care. For people who are not spiritual, it's fine. But for those who are spiritual, like praying, meditating, all those things can renew you and can strengthen you for the next week. And at this point, I want to talk about a spiritual aspect that many of us in this part of the world really do not utilize a lot, and it's affirmations. I noticed that on the days when I woke up early, I'm able to get ready, and there's still time, substantial time before I get to work. Those days I take time to affirm myself using words, using like words said out loud. I tell myself, you're strong, you're able to cope with the stress of today, you have the wisdom to tackle every problem that might arise during the day and all that, and it makes a whole lot of difference in my day. So that's all I just want to say. Make sure to take care of your physical well-being, your social well-being, and your spiritual well-being, and even your emotional well-being. Check in with yourself in your free time. Check in with yourself. Have um time to process your emotions. Why did I feel this certain way? Throughout the week you might not have time because you just want to get back to bed, or you eat for the day is gone. But on your free days, try to check in with yourself, understand why you act a certain way, understand why something your colleague said rubbed you off the wrong way and all that. And it's going to really help in coping and dealing with your job. So that's all for today. I hope that you enjoyed it. But if you didn't, still stick around because it's gonna get better. It is only going to get better. So thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye.